Ford Bronco and Ford Ranger power increase and changes for 2025. So don't expect any changes visually to the 2025 Ford Ranger. 2024 was your whole new model. So you're going to get a refresh in anywhere from 4 to 3 to 6 years. To play it safe, it's probably going to be 5 years. But the Ford Ranger, don't expect any changes, but don't expect much when it comes to changes to the 2025 Ford Bronco. Look at the Bronco Sport. The new 2025 Ford Bronco barely changed. You've got a little difference in bumpers. You got what I would call kind of like accessory changes. And you do have a fancier, I will say it is a fancier, it's an impressive interior. It now boasts the biggest touchscreen in its segment at 13.2 inches. And even behind the steering wheel, non-touchscreen, but a nice digital screen, 12 inches. So it's boasting some huge, huge screens and some new seats, some new colors. That's basically probably what we can expect out of the 2025 Ford Bronco. Now, they already gave us the big screen, the 12-inch screen, touchscreen for the Bronco for 2024, for all the models. Yes, the price went up, but it became standard equipment. I don't suspect, and I'm not hearing any rumors that we're going to get a bigger touchscreen in the refreshed 2025. And even some people were really starting to doubt that there's going to be a 2025 refresh because they hadn't announced it yet. But I can tell you from experience, Ford, I've seen next model years come out as late as June of the year. So we might get a 2025 refreshed Bronco. It might only show up in March or April of 2025. So don't expect it for December or January. It could happen, but it's at this point starting to become more and more doubtful. But I do really expect a refresh. Like the Bronco Sport 2025, you can probably expect some minor changes to the bumper, front and back. I think something we can probably hope and almost expect. It would be nice, like the Bronco Sport Sasquatch package, that it gets a steel bumper in the back. I would like, and I think a lot of us would like to see steel bumpers on all Sasquatch models, or at least the Wild Track. Because right now the Wild Track feels like, yeah, you're getting a huge upgrade at a huge price increase of a Badlands. But you're getting the Haas 3.0 suspension. It's great, it's comfortable, it does a great job. It can catch a little bit of air. When you land it, the airbags don't go off like a Ram TRX. Heck, when you hit a rock pretty hard, the airbags don't go off. That's a full steel bumper on my Ford Bronco. Catch the videos on that. But I had the steel bumper in one corner go back 2 inches and up 1 inch into the fender. And the airbags didn't go off. And it hit hard enough. I'm really surprised the airbags didn't go off. And in my Badlands, I was jumping it in a field a bunch of years back. Jumped in there, landed a bunch of times, airbags never went off. But things we can expect. Probably major issue with the current Bronco, and you really notice it when you're driving if you've driven a Raptor. So thankfully, outside of reviews, I got to drive the Raptor, Bronco Raptor. Behind the steering wheel is a nice screen, all digital. Currently on your Bronco, you have half analog and kind of a small digital screen. So that way when you put your off-road options up and you see about, you're getting info about angle or about power distribution, all your off-road info is so tiny. So I would expect for 2025, I think it'd be a good move on, and Peugeot, funny man. I do think it'd be great if Ford gave us all the 12-inch behind the steering wheel, a nice non-digital 12-inch screen so that we can better see all that info we want to get our hands on. 4 high, 4 low, thank you for joining the show. Jump into the conversation in the live. You've got a good conversation going off on the side here. So yes, for 2025, Ford Bronco, I highly suspect we'll get a redesign of the bumper. We'll probably get a steel bumper in the back. Probably not standard, but maybe standard for all Sasquatch models. Maybe some mild changes to the grille, but beyond that, maybe the plastic fenders, maybe a change. And you know what's interesting about Ford is historically what you see on the special edition models or coming out of the stable from Ford Performance or Shelby. Think about Shelby Mustangs. Odd. Shelby Mustangs often kind of give you a peek at a good idea of what the new model will look like when it comes out, 3-4 years later. So they take, bits and pieces. So I'm definitely thinking, you think of the Everglades, different side fenders. You think of the Raptor, Bronco, different side fenders. I think those are the type of things that we can expect. Little side fender plastics, good chances of a change. Front and back bumper, different styles, probably steel. Screen behind the steering wheel, getting one that's much bigger so we can better see our speed and all our off-road information and the information about the infotainment system and all that. And probably more when it comes to standard safety technology, just like the 2025 Bronco Sport, we can probably expect, being standard. So we'll get more of the whole automatic headlights, blind spot detection, cross traffic alert when you're backing up, the vehicle alerting you if someone's coming. Those are the type of technologies we can probably expect to become standard. So we're going to get more. We're going to get a price increase, but we're going to get more for our dollar. Now, talking about more for our dollar, we've got a Ford Bronco and Ford Ranger power increase. And you don't have to wait until 2025. You can put this on your 2021 Bronco. Now, the new news, the most recent news is about a power increase to the Bronco Raptor, as well as the Ranger, the Raptor, for the 3-liter V6. But we've had one for the 2.7-liter. Just keep in mind, when you get a Ford Performance tune, a power increase, you're going to get a whole lot more power. Ford Ranger and Bronco, we're talking about to the tune of... Let me know in the live if you have the exact stats, because I'd have to fish for this. Here it is. So Brett Foote, thank you very much for this article. But we're talking about an extra, the power numbers here, and that's not the main point of the story, because the main point of the story, what really stresses me is that, and I need to make people aware of this. Yeah, for $825 US, it's pretty awesome to get up to 455 horsepower and 536 pound-feet of torque on the Ranger or the Bronco Raptor. That's incredible. 536 pound-feet of torque is more than what you're getting out of the F-150 Raptor. And the F-150 Raptor, remember, it's like $50,000 Canadian dollars more than your Bronco Raptor. Your Bronco Raptor is priced like an F-150 Raptor, but the Ranger Raptor is incredible. It's a steal of a deal. And if you get this inexpensive tune thrown onto your Bronco Raptor, well, I think paying Bronco Raptor money, but having 455 horsepower and 536 pound-feet of torque, heck, it wasn't that long ago that's what the top of the line supercars were putting out in exotics. So good money, but here's what I want to stress. I've said it in the past before, but I want to remind everyone, you're getting a Ford Performance warranty. So essentially, a good part, if there's any suspicion, if your engine blows, if there's any suspicion that it could be linked to the added power to the vehicle, you're out. And these tunes almost always require you to put higher octane gas. So if the computer reads out that it can get high enough octane gas because, one time you're out in the boonies and they didn't have whether it's 91 or 93 octane, you're out. And I'm an insider. I'm at a dealer here. I can tell you, there are good chances that if your engine goes, it's going to be blamed on the tune. So be ready to dish out, maybe $20,000, give or take. That can be very dangerous. And also remember that the Ford Performance warranty, it's not a Ford warranty. Ford Performance, the people that are making these chips, separate from Ford, USA or Ford Canada, it's not the original Ford warranty. Your Ford warranty is essentially in a good part getting canceled, and instead you've got your Ford Performance warranty from this chip, from the chip maker, the tune maker. So one, you're not going through your traditional route of Ford warranty. You're not dealing with your regular people. You're dealing with Ford Performance. So always a bit of a stress there. It's one of the reasons I haven't tuned any of my toys while they're on warranty. And it's a 3-year, 36,000 mile or 3-year or 60,000 kilometer warranty from when the vehicle was put on the road in service, from when the vehicle was originally bought by its original owner. Whether you are that original owner or not, that's when that warranty is gonna start. So really cool calibration, tons of power. But at that point, if you currently have a 2.7 liter, you've got a tune for that as well. And if you have a 2.3 liter Ford Ranger, there's a tune for that. So you don't have to go out and buy a new 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. You don't even have to buy a brand new 2025 Ford Ranger, but I think that's really worth it. I think this truck blows the segment away. I think it's a leader with the 2.3 liter, and I think it's a clear winner with the 2.7 liter. So I recommend that you buy one. But if you're just not in a position to switch vehicles right now, but you want more power, you want a little more excitement, you want to have that new vehicle feeling again, throw on a calibration. If they won't throw you in jail in your state for changing the muffler, maybe put on a muffler with a little bit more sand. You'll feel like you're driving a whole new beast. And that's my advice for tonight. So you don't get fooled and you save thousands of dollars. And that's what I'm about here at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. The community members that are always in the live chat, that's what they're about. I really appreciate community members. Thank you so much for all the help and assistance. Thank you for comments going throughout the show. Now let us know in the comments, what do you think of this whole Ford Bronco, Ford Ranger Raptor story, the calibration tune? Would you tune? Would you calibrate? Would you take the risk? Do you feel it's as much of a risk as, it worries and stresses me. I know the money, the price of the tune, the calibration is totally by far worth that the money to power. Incredible, but would you do it to your own? Would you switch up to a Raptor, or would you keep your current Ranger? Just whether you keep a current Ranger or get a new or used Ranger, are you thinking of getting a new or used Ranger or Ford Bronco? Now, speaking of used Ford Broncos, speaking of used Ford Edges,